Okay, welcome back to Teal House Farm. We're gonna work out in the garden today. I'll show you how the greenhouse is doing. It's actually doing pretty well, but yeah. So we're gonna basically pull everything out that we got, with the exception of green tomatoes. Still hoping that they'll turn red. I have so many. I don't know that they're gonna turn red. I think the days are getting too short, but we're gonna give them their best shot. There's no frost in the forecast. There's no reason to pull them. But I'm gonna pull everything else, like the cantaloupes. I got a lot of spaghetti squash. I got some green beans. Got peppers. I think that's about all that should be ready. We'll kind of see what we have. I've been putting this off because I just don't want to be disappointed. You know, you feel like there's a lot in there. Maybe there really isn't that much left. So hopefully we'll see what we've got. I've also been putting it off because you're so loud. I've also been putting it off because I just didn't feel like doing it. I'll be really honest. So I wanted to do this last week, but we're gonna do it this week. But let's get some buckets, and hopefully we have buckets worth and not just a little basket, but we'll see. Let's go find a 5-gallon bucket. We'll see what we can pull from the garden and then figure out how we're gonna save it. Because some things, you get weird amounts of them, they can't really be put up. So we'll talk about kind of how we're gonna make sure nothing goes to waste and how we use things up. Okay, come help me. We gotta go get a bucket. Okay, come this way. Okay, a quick trip up to the barn here. We're gonna see what we can find. I have a couple buckets that have just been hanging out in front of the barn, so we're gonna go see if any of them are worthwhile. I don't really care if they're clean because we're gonna wash everything, so that looks fine, but I'd rather have one with a handle on it, so we'll use that one. And let's bring them back down to the garden and see what we can collect. The construction manager is feeling super optimistic today, so he grabs a second bucket. So we'll see if he's right. I don't think there's gonna be enough for 2 buckets, but if the man thinks we need it, he can bring it on down. We're gonna start with the green beans. I did not plant these green beans. Isla dropped a bunch of seeds right here on the corner of the garden, and we just left them alone, and wouldn't you know, they grew into these green bean plants. I have done absolutely nothing for these green beans. I don't even water them, but look at that. Big, healthy, they really do look really good. And there are so many on this bush area. I never would have thought there were this many green beans here. So looking great. All right, next we're going to the jungle. So I planted my tomatoes and my peppers too close, blah, blah. I do it every year. So it just makes it difficult to get in there and pick, but we're gonna sneak in there. I know I have a whole lot of jalapenos that need taken off. Let me tell you, only plant 2 or 3 jalapeno plants. You will be absolutely amazed how many peppers each plant will grow. Bell peppers, you need a lot more plants. They don't grow quite as many, but those jalapenos, they will just keep producing and producing and producing the spicy peppers. I also have some banana peppers, but those aren't quite ready. I don't know, we might get frost before they're ready. I planted them really late. They were a late summer addition, just kind of a, well, let's see what happens, but I think it's gonna be too late on those. We have to really sneak in there to get to the bell peppers. I have a couple real nice yellow ones that look good, so we'll put those out. I found a toad in the garden, and I thought Mr. P, the construction manager, might think he's pretty cool, so we'll kind of bring him over and show him to him. He's not huge, but he's pretty chubby, and he's kind of cute, so. Hey, look. Okay, so now we know Mr. P likes worms and dirt and bugs, but he does not appreciate frogs. So we'll let him get back to what he's doing, and we'll go finish picking. Now we need to tackle the jungle side of the garden, which is the way too many too close tomato plants that, if you've been watching, you know that a lot of the stakes fell over because the ground was so soft. So that was something we learned this year. We're gonna need to have a better staking technique for next year in this no-till garden. But we get several red tomatoes off. There are like a million green tomatoes on here. I really hope they turn red. And we're gonna get those put in the bucket. And then Mr. P was right. We do need a second bucket because I have a whole bunch of cantaloupe I think are ready. I picked cantaloupe too early a few weeks ago, so I've been waiting longer. Some of you said to wait till the vines are really brittle or they fall right off the vine, so that's what I did. We'll see how those 3 cantaloupe do. And I have like a million spaghetti squash out here to pick. Okay, before I head inside and show you what we got all in total and what we're gonna do with it, let's show you what's going on in the greenhouse. Okay, I haven't planted back here yet. That'll be probably another week. And then our zucchini has sprouted there. There's another one there. Our carrots have just started sprouting. And our beets have sprouted, but really non-uniformly. It's really hard to water into the greenhouse because of the wood posts. So I think what's close to the post hasn't been getting wet enough. So I'm going to do a better job watering. And then our potato, our mystery potato that we planted just to see what would happen, is just starting to poke through the dirt. I don't know if you can see that. So we'll see what happens with him. Probably gonna plant those pots and wrap the greenhouse next week. It's still plenty hot. I mean, they were out splashing in water today. The nights get pretty cool, but nowhere near frost, so I'm not really in a hurry to do that. More interested in just trying to get food put away that we're getting out of the main garden. So let's go inside and show you what we got. Okay, so here's what we picked. We'll start with this disaster here. So last time I picked a cantaloupe, it was not ready to go. And so it was suggested that we just wait until they basically fall off the vine. But this one obviously got way too ripe. So there's got to be a happy medium there. This I'll just toss out where the chickens are and they'll probably pick at it. This and this I pulled off. The vines were starting to get really thin and woody looking. So maybe these will be good. I'll just put them in the refrigerator. We'll have them for breakfast hopefully next week. I picked 2 of the spaghetti squash. Most of them are not ready yet. There's probably another 10 out there. Give it a couple more weeks. I have this assortment of peppers. I'm just going to can these as mixed peppers in 1/2 pint jars to use during the year. I like mixing the sweet peppers and the hot peppers because it really helps to kind of hide some of the spice of the really hot peppers. I don't like super spicy things. Pickled jalapenos are also super good, so there's still a whole bunch out there. So I think this batch I'll can just in water for using in like stir fries and omelets and sandwiches and things like that. But then I'm also gonna, next time, I will pickle the peppers, and those are great just on sandwiches or just as a side. This is the green beans from Isla's little pet. She did good, huh? I'm just gonna rinse these, put them in the fridge, and we will have them with dinner tomorrow night. I will just steam them with some salt and pepper, little butter. They'll be good. And we'll just eat those fresh because definitely not enough to be worth preserving. And then we just had a few tomatoes, and I will just rinse these off and freeze them in our red tomato box. I have so many green tomatoes out there. I really hope that they turn red. I'd be really disappointed if they don't because I've definitely canned so many green tomatoes already this year. I don't really need any more for the winter, but I hate letting food go to waste. I'm not going to do any canning today, so I'm just going to put these peppers in a bowl, and I will do it tomorrow probably. I'm sorry they're so loud. They are playing right there with the dollhouse, and so they're all being loud. So we're just going to put those on the counter for tomorrow. Spaghetti squash will last all winter on your counter if they're undamaged, so you just check them over, make sure they don't have any nicks in them, and then I just set them on a shelf and forget them until I want to make something. Don't really wash them down, but if they're like just super dirty, you can just dry rub off some of that dirt. Kind of just want to keep them as they are so that they store better. These we're just going to rinse and put in a Walmart bag. Upwards of a week to use them. Just stick them in the fridge like this, but I'm going to try to use them within 2 or 3 days. We'll just have them as a side with dinner one night with dinner, and it'll be a nice free side. Alright, tomatoes, just pulling off the tops. Give them a little rinse. This one's got kind of a bad spot on it, so we'll cut it off. Keep bags, Walmart bags and Ziploc bags. They both work the same. We're just going to keep them in the freezer until it's sauce making time. We're just going to add them to our stash. I have probably about maybe 30 pounds in here right now, so we're going to make a bunch of sauce. And then hopefully a lot more coming. I really hope those other tomatoes turn red. Okay, I think that's all I have for today. We're just gonna clean up a little bit, make some dinner. and call it good, because it's been a long day and I'm super tired. So thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. I hope your gardens have been nice to you, at least this fall. I know for a lot of us the spring was not very good. The weather was just, it was so dry that nothing grew, and it's really caught up late summer, fall, but hopefully, fingers crossed, we don't run out of time to get some of those things that are finally thriving to the ripe stage so that we can enjoy them during the winter. See you all next time.